We're starting.
Welcome back. We are
Group 17.
no.
Yeah.
Not-
Alright, so now our third hypothesis is we hypothesize that the emotions of the protesters are a key factor in their decision to protest.
Yes.
Do we all agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, let's back it. No,
Done.
Alright, but that's for real, for real. What emotions do you think are very important in protesting?
Anger,
Anger,
Anger.
hate,
hate,
Passion?
passion,
passion can be one.
love.
Love.
I feel like every emotion plays a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if like they're protesting to like protect animals, like people protest like at slaughterhouses and they're like, oh, it's because they really love animals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they're over here like, you don't hurt the don't eat cows, or you know.
Oh,
And they're like, yeah, and they're like at a slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah. So there's a lot of different emotions. I feel like every single emotion is a possibility in any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that makes a point because now that you mentioned that, like the slaughterhouses, I
Like-
believe one of them, it's a little bit off topic, but I believe one of the articles also talked about like the abortion clinics.
Yeah, that is one of them.
I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of like empathy maybe going on because like I've seen sometimes protests, small ones like in Downey, I believe there's a few of them that go around.
It's a lot of sadness too, because a lot of the people who protest are like people who can't have kids. I feel like, so
Yeah.
they can't have kids, so they go and protest like, oh, like you have this ability to have kids, and you're choosing to like get an abortion. Is kind of like, so they protest like, oh, like you're wrong for that. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be doing that. Like da. But it's kind of like, if I don't have a kid, I don't want a kid. You know. I don't know what your stand on abortions is, but I mean,
But it was just like an example. So I understand that. Like, there's maybe I would see that as a little bit as envy or jealousy.
Yeah, right though. But that's another.
But it is
It's
a
a
strong
whole different emotion. It's a strong emotion.
because there's a bit of empathy and they're compassionate for that.
Yeah. Like it's a baby in there, and then you can't do that. You're killing them, like right? Because that's what they say. Yeah. So
I was gonna say something, but like, what would be like the most aggressive, I think, protest that you guys consider, ever seen or ever been in?
I don't think I've ever been in anything. In protesting, I don't think I've been involved, but celebrations I have been.
Okay.
I don't know if I count that though.
Yeah.
Like I've been there when the Lakers won 2009, 2010, Waiter Boulevard.
Yeah.
Dodgers and Lakers won 2020. Turned up there, Waiter Boulevard, this past year. You know. But that's not
Yeah,
a
but that's-
protest.
yeah, so that's
like, what are you
celebration.
protesting? What are you fighting for? The Dodgers won. Yeah. So hard to say. You guys have either of you been in a protest?
Unfortunately, I've been one. Like I mentioned the Downey one of the abortions. I was doing that protest for a bit, but it was like more of a silent march. So it wasn't like we were screaming or anything. It's just like people with signs walking around like the sidewalk. They're just like walking. But I feel like in that case, like you mentioned, there is a bit like a sadness to it.
Yeah.
I guess there is some people who want to do maybe a little bit more, like they like get angry and they just want to do like something like a riot or something. But since it was like a silent protest, it was more like they were controlled. They were not allowed to do that. If they did, I believe they were like gonna get kicked out or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as we mentioned before, all those emotions, there's like has to be maybe like a strong one. Cause if not, I think that ends in failure. If there's like a weak emotion, cause there's like people who start leaving. They're like, I don't care about protesting anymore. I already did my time here. Or they just like did it for the fun of it. And they're like, all right, I'm bored. I'm gonna go somewhere else now.
Yeah.
So moving on to like our first question was, what are other key factors that push people to protest? What do you think are other ones besides maybe emotion?
Yeah. Key factors, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what are key factors?
Economic interest or conditions like they can't afford like eggs, I guess.
That's a good one, yeah.
I guess that one, maybe like a need, like
like a need.
A need or a want, yeah.
maybe a need is or want. So I guess that could be like a motivation, I guess, besides emotion.
Yeah.
Because I know we talk about a lot of like emotions behind it, but I feel like maybe if there's an interest, there has to be like maybe a reason, like a need. There has to be something that pushes them also besides their emotions.
Yeah.
Could it be like important facts maybe that people say, like you know how the most famous one that we talked about right now was Martin Luther King. He did his "I Have a Dream" speech. I guess that like would empowered a lot of people.
Yeah.
So there has to be a leader of some kind.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm pretty sure Muhammad Ali, when he chose not to go to war, he sparked a lot of people, or like he motivated a lot of people to also be like, I'm also not gonna like serve in the war.
Yeah.
And they were just like, I'm gonna just take the repercussions of it. Yeah. Right though.
Yeah, because if we go in the direction of a leader,
They're like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
that
like,
inspires people.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Joshua?
Yeah. You know what people? Yeah, I think they're following like good leaders like MLK. You know, like because they inspire. He's like a very, I guess, very charismatic and very inspiring figure. So people kind of look up to him and they follow his lead. So.
Yeah. He's a big dog.
Yeah. There's.
Yeah. All right. So then, can we conclude that emotions is the only key factor, or do you think there is other things around, like other factors?
It's hard to say. I want to say emotions is the main one, but I want to say there could be other factors. I just can't elaborate on them right now.
Yeah.
Unless if you throw it out there, maybe I'll be like, oh yeah, that's one. But
Yeah. Well, let's think about it a little bit, because I know we covered a lot of like strong emotions, and I did try to go into like there's leaders maybe that are like very charismatic, like Joshua said. There's also the facts, because I remember I believe in psych there's like where they talk about like the audience, how sometimes the audience is like the ones who empower these leaders, because there's people who go based on like just the leader, I like that leader, he looks really good, he sounds very powerful. And then there's other people who pay attention to the facts and they're like, yeah, I agree with this leader because of the reasons he gives. So that's why I was like not overthinking, but thinking that maybe that's why there's like other factors besides emotions. Because I don't think that it's just usually emotions. I feel like there has to be a reason. Like you mentioned earlier, like revenge is not.
revenge.
Because there's like people like maybe their brother got shot or killed, and they're like, hey, this is not fair. I don't think this is politically fair. The person should not go unpunished. Because there's like times where like, oh yeah, we give him a punishment. He gets deduct pay.
Or something crazy of like when, it was like a white kid. He was driving drunk and he killed like a whole family.
Oh yeah.
And he only got like a year.
Yeah.
People were mad at that. They were like, and they were protesting like, what? Like how come? Like he only got a year, but it's because his family was wealthy, a lot of money, good lawyers, and he was white. Yeah, because he killed like a whole family. It's kind of crazy. If I'm not wrong, it was like a whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that's like the reason. So I don't feel like it's sometimes emotion. It has to be like a reason, because I know people. Although there's emotion, I feel like it's for a while, because those emotions can like die off really quick.
Yeah,
and
change.
Changes like for example, I believe some of the articles mention how there's people who do protest, but there's just like to get out of school, because some of the articles were based on like the students protesting. But getting out of school, it was their like the whole reason for protest. They're like, oh, I'm just here protesting because I want to leave out of campus. I want to be somewhere else instead of studying. So I guess that's why I was like, is it really emotion a big key factor, or there could be more?
They're just there.
Yeah, they're just there. Honestly,
that's what I was saying too. Remember I brought it up earlier. I was like, some people were just there, like just cause, like they'll be like, oh, you're protesting. I'm with that, or just cause it's a mob, like mob mentality. They're just like, oh, it's a big mob. I'm gonna go just to be there, and they don't even know what they're fighting for. They're just like, oh, what are you doing here? Like,
that's why. So I was like, it's
and they asked the wrong person the question. He's just over here like. Like it's just like, oh, we're protesting for this and this and this, and it's like not even what the protest is about.
I see that.
There's like signs that say else, like other things. And he's just over here like, protesting about this, this, and this.
That's how I was like wondering. So I guess then we can just say what ideas or details support our hypothesis. If not, how we revise our hypothesis. Would we change our hypothesis pretty much, or do we 100% agree that emotion is like the biggest key factor.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Emotion is heavy,
Yeah.
and whether it's a negative emotion or a positive emotion, either way, it's an emotion that sparks that person to be like, I'm gonna go protest for this today. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we could agree that emotion is then our pretty much our key factor, because we did cover it a lot. Motives, it goes with emotion. I remember a lot of articles always discussing that. They're like, hey, although there's motives, there is emotions behind it that push it further. And that's why we have like the extreme cases of protesting, and sometimes like the rarely not extreme, like small protesting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think that maybe we're a bit limited to the protests that we see because of how the media works. Because I remember you mentioned earlier that like there's like some small protests that go on, they're not like really mentioned, and
They don't get put them on the news or anything.
Yeah.
It's usually like the very extreme ones that are get like really the spotlight, you could say.
Yeah. Get like, oh, they have news coverage or social media coverage and all that. Like people have videos like, oh, he threw this or something like that, you know?
Yeah. There's like sometimes where they like get out of hand, but other than that, Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Yeah, it's like emotions are the biggest factor. I mean, there are other factors like kind of what we went over, but that's undoubtedly, I would say, the emotions is what inspires people. Like, there's the belief in that, you know.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Oh,
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that was real. He just had the thing on and just. I was like, hell yeah.
And what was that protest again?
I think this is Baltimore.
Baltimore?
I thought, I think this is Baltimore. If I'm not wrong, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So I guess that should be it then.
Yeah.
We covered it. Yeah, because I think
went over everything.
we did go over them in the past. Other two hypotheses that we included.
Yeah.
But so we can agree that emotions has a big impact with protesting, and overall our motivations as well.
What do you think his emotion was? Right.
For the Elmo,
Yeah.
if it was a strong emotion, then probably what.
Anger?
to go to that
angry Elmo who lit the trash can on fire, right? Because he lit the trash can on fire, and then
so that's actually tough to say if it's like a. Could be he did it.
I don't think he's up to any good if he has a mask on.
Oh,
He's definitely looking to start some trouble.
That's and I guess that's also why going back to our second one was like the reason why they might end in failure, because of those acts. They might see him as terrorism rather than protesting.
Yeah, like that's not a protest. Like
that's.
They're like, were you protesting when you looted 7-Eleven and took all the money? Like, no, I was protesting. Like, man, you can't arrest me. I was protesting. Like, no, man, you committed a crime. That's theft.
Yeah, and then again, that goes back with our question also, like other key factors like that one. That's like a prime example of like another motive. Like they protest, but not with the intentions of the group. They're like their own thing.
Yeah.
More like for benefit, you could say, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that should be it. Honestly, that's what we covered.
That should do it. Group 17. Group 17.
End of the video. Alright, let me see how much was that one. Because I believe it's 14.